Hey guys, so this is the Insta360 X4 Air, a new camera by Insta360 that's made to be especially light. And I think a lot of you might actually like this camera for what you're filming. In this video, I want to share what I think are my 5 wins for the X4 Air and the 2 losses. Those 5 wins are going to be things that are going to be good for you, and those losses, you got to weigh those out and see if those are going to be a big enough loss that you might not want this camera. You might just stick with that X5. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Hetrick, and I'm a best-selling author of books about how to use Insta360 cameras and other action cameras. So in this video, I just want to share my thoughts about this new Insta360 X4 Air and help you guys decide if it's going to be the right 360 camera for you. First, let me just give you a quick overview of what this camera is. I think I can pretty much sum up the X4 Air in one sentence for you guys, but please don't click off the video just because I'm summing it up for you in one sentence. There's a lot more to know about it. But the X4 Air is basically a slimmed down X5 without a low light mode that's the size of the X3, but actually lighter. And that equals the X4 Air. And it's actually a pretty kick-ass little camera. It shares a lot of the features of the X5, minus a few things that might be important to you. The X4 Air records 8K 30 video, just like the X5, and it also has replaceable lenses, which is a huge deal, especially if you are mounting your camera and it might get scratched. Now let me show you those 5 wins and 2 losses for the X4 Air to help you decide if those wins and losses are worth it for you. The first win for the X4 Air is obviously just its size and portability. It's a small, lightweight camera that's going to be a lot easier to mount and to carry with you. So this is the Insta360 X3 and this is the X4 Air. So you see it's almost exactly the same size. However, the X4 Air is actually lighter than the X3 at 165 grams. If you've gotten your hands on the new iPhone Air, the Insta360 X4 Air is exactly the same weight as the iPhone Air. So it's going to feel like that similar weight when you have it in your hand or mounted on your body. I feel like if you're wearing it or you have it mounted, that weight difference is going to make a big difference for you. But once you attach it to a pole, it's not really going to be as big of a difference because you're going to be holding it, and it's not a huge difference between the X5. It's just going to make a bigger difference when you have that camera like on your helmet or hanging out of your mouth, and that smaller weight is really going to help out. And it is a slightly smaller battery than the X5, but it still gets 88 minutes of recording time at 8K 30, whereas the X5 gets about 94 minutes. So it's not a huge difference in battery life, which is a good thing because I thought it was going to be really small in battery life. The second huge win for the X4 Air is replaceable lenses. The Insta360 X4 did not have replaceable lenses, so if you scratched it, you had to get those lenses replaced and send it in. It was just a major hassle. They added those replaceable lenses on the X5, and now they've got them on the X4 Air. So if you are mounting this camera and you scratch those lenses, it's easy. You can just swap them out with new lenses. It's a cheap replacement, and it's going to have your camera back up and running. At this point and where these cameras are, I really love having replaceable lenses on my camera. It just gives you that peace of mind. If you do scratch your lenses, you're not done filming. The third win for the X4 Air is the price. The X4 Air costs about $400. So it's quite a bit cheaper than any of the other top 3 action cameras that record 8K 360 video. If you're just looking to get into a 360 camera and you don't want to pay that full price, the X4 Air has a lot of the features that you're going to need in a 360 camera. Win number 4 is the footage that you're going to get out of this camera, especially in those daylight scenes. If you're recording any time where there's daylight out, the X4 Air gets really nice high quality footage. They added some of the features from the X5, such as adaptive tone and a portrait mode, to the X4 Air. As you can see in these comparisons, the footage that you get with the X4 Air is almost on par with the X5, which is definitely one of the top 360 cameras on the market right now. So for that lower price point, you still get some beautiful footage and you can capture some shots that are going to look amazing. It's got a 1/1.8 inch sensor, so it's a larger sensor than the X4, but it's not quite up there with the X5. Still though, it's going to produce some really nice high quality footage, and you've also got active HDR and up to 8K at 30 frames per second. So you can get some nice even toned footage in those certain scenarios. And that 8K 360 footage is going to allow you to reframe those shots into some beautiful 4K clips. So you can get really nice shots here with the Insta360 X4 Air. Win number 5 for the X4 Air is that this is an Insta360 camera. So you get what comes along with that, which is compatibility with most of their accessories. They have so many accessories, it's really easy to find the one that you want for whatever mount you want, and it's going to work with your X4 Air. One of the accessories that's not compatible is the dive case for the X4 Air. So this is the dive case for the X4 Air. It's already ready to go. It's going to be available to buy, so you don't have to wait around for it. And the quality is really surprisingly great on this dive case. I was quite surprised with how good the quality is, especially considering it's such a tiny little case. Insta360 also has the best apps, so when you go to edit your X4 Air footage, you get to work with those apps, and it's going to just make it that much easier to create shots from your 360 footage. It's not always so easy when you record these 360 shots to get something that's really usable and what you want to see out of it. But Insta360's apps are definitely the best at making it easy to get those shots out of your 360 footage. Also, if you buy this camera before the end of 2025, you get a free year of Insta360 Plus. So you get that free cloud storage up to 200 gigabytes. So I mean, I wouldn't let that sway you in buying this camera, but it is a nice bonus if you do end up wanting this camera. But I do recommend going for the camera that you really want if you can afford it. And that brings us to the losses. So what are the losses? What are the downsides of this Insta360 X4 Air? The first loss is that there's no pure video mode. And pure video mode is the low light mode that you get on the X5. They came out with it on the X5, and I really enjoy having that mode because there's a lot of times where I actually just want to film in low light scenes. I don't record all that much at night in Hawaii because it gets dark and then there's nothing around. But when I was traveling around at night, I was out up late, and there were a lot of times I wanted to use that low light footage. So I was really happy I had that low light video mode on the X5, which is not on the X4 Air. So if that's a big deal for you, I'd think about that. The second loss for the X4 Air is it does have reduced settings from the X5. So there's a couple things missing that you should think about if those are important for you. So first of all, in 360 video mode, it only records up to 50 frames per second. So if you're into really slow-mo footage and you use that 4K at 120 frames per second on the X5 at a super wide perspective, then you might want to go with the X5. But if you are okay with 2x slow motion, you know, this camera has really nice quality. It just doesn't go into super slow motion frame rates. The next thing that it's also missing is it doesn't have a bullet time mode. I'm not sure really why. Maybe it needed extra processing chips or something, but there's no bullet time. So if you like to shoot bullet time shots, that's not available yet. Maybe they'll add it. And if you're really into taking 360 spherical photos, it only takes 29 megapixel photos compared to 72 megapixel photos on the X5 or even on the X4. It also had those larger photo files. But I think a lot of people don't even take 360 photos. It really depends on what you're using it for. So 5 wins, 2 losses for the X4 Air. It's a great little camera. If you're looking for that smaller, lightweight camera, this is probably the best option out there. With those replaceable lenses, the lightweight, same as the iPhone Air, I think this camera is gonna really give you that lightweight option. And if you want it at a cheap price point, it's available. It comes in black or white. So if you do decide you wanna get it, you can check out my link in the video description below. I usually have some kind of bonus offer there. If you are looking for some of those extra features like a low light mode or bullet time or super high frame rate slow motion, then the X5 is gonna be a better option for you if you're in the market trying to figure out which camera to get. If not, go check out one of Insta360's other cameras because they've got a lot of great options. I love their cameras. They work really well and they make it really easy to transform that 360 footage into something very fun to work with. Be sure to check out my channel. I've got tons of great videos on how to use your Insta360 cameras. So hopefully what you're looking for is there. If not, drop me a comment and let me know what you guys want to see and I'll see what I can do. Thanks so much and I'll see you guys in the next video.